Hello and welcome to the channel. Remember, we placed a bet yesterday, and obviously, every time when we placed a bet, we have to do a review of that ticket so that we can see where have we go wrong. That will assist us in the next ticket. So these were the only three teams that were available. Unfortunately, we'll just do a recap on those analysis. But let me just check the ticket. By the way, the ticket, here's the ticket. You can see it was those three teams. I'm not sure where is it now. Okay, let me just go to my bet. Okay, here is it. So this is the ticket. So let's just do a quick recap what we said yesterday. We said multi-goal Bayern Leverkusen versus Frankfurt. We said there over 1.5 goals. Yeah, we were solely focusing on goals, but not just goals for the whole match, but goals only on the first half. We said there will be at least more than one goal in the first half that will be scored between Leverkusen and Frankfurt. And then we said the same thing for Olympique Marseille versus Lorient. We said there will be at least more than one goal scored in the first half. I will tell you why. Obviously, you know why, because we did analysis. And obviously, Sevilla versus Elche, we said yellow cards. Not necessarily yellow cards, but bookings. Even if it's red card, even if it's yellow card, it doesn't really matter. But we said there will be over 3.5. It means that in this match there must be at least 4 yellow cards and above. And you know why we did that. I'll just do a quick recap. Look at this one. Look at this one. This is Leverkusen. So these are the results. And obviously, you can see there were 2 goals in the first half. One was scored a little bit later on the 45. Where just, you know what I mean? We just got it. But nevertheless, we need to just do a recap and see why. Obviously, you can see why on that video of the first video that we've posted. But I want to take you through again and see why. You know what I mean? So this is why. Remember, we used a one match strategy. So basically, a one match strategy, I can say it's something that we figured during the international matches. That look, because of international matches, it's very hard to predict them. So due to the fact that there are no stats, you understand, because they hardly play together, you know what I mean, they play after some years. So we decided, you know what, let's just use the only match they have played, you know, the recent match they have played. So we use that strategy here again, even though it was not necessary, because there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of matches these two teams have played frequently, you know what I mean, every season they play. So I mean, it's very easy to do some sort of a stat, you know what I mean. You can see the trend. Yeah, you can see that, okay, Leverkusen, every time when these two teams are meeting, you can see that Leverkusen is always scoring quite a lot of goals. You can see, I mean, that's a statistics, but I didn't want to go all the way, you know what I mean. We could have been right, I mean, again, because you can see Leverkusen here every time when they play this team. Most of the time when they play, if they win, they always concede. So it's basically saying Leverkusen, and yes, meaning Leverkusen will win the match and then they will concede. But don't worry about that. So this is the match. This was our focus. This match they played on April this year. So this is the match that helped us to achieve our bet. So we checked this match, we checked all the stats that are available in this match. So we noticed that a lot of goals are being scored on the first half when these two teams meet in this particular match. Not necessarily on other matches, but we said this is a one match strategy. So we're focusing only on this and then build stats out of this. Doesn't matter if there are no trends, we build this as the first trend. So that's what we've noticed first. But if you think about it, this happened because the match ended 3-1. And we said, if you remember again, that both teams to score as it is here on this match. And obviously, if the odds are favoring Leverkusen, which were also favoring Leverkusen yesterday, we said then these teams are going to score each other, but Leverkusen will win. That's also a statistic that we found out on this match. And guess what? The match ended 3-1 and it was true. And then what else did we notice here? That also happened. I remember saying, you see here, there are no yellow cards on the first half. But let's see if did that really happen. No, I think there was a red card, so it's impossible. Yeah, there was a yellow card actually in the first half. So that one was not going to go through. We were going to lose. Yeah, we were going to lose. And let's check what else that happened. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stats that we could have, Let's see in terms of yellow cards. Frankfurt. Okay, the yellow cards were 1-1. Okay, not much here. Not much here. So, but most importantly is that some of the things that happened, we didn't choose them, but at least one of them happened. The one that we decided to choose, which were the goals in the first half. We said there will be at least more than 2 goals in the first half, because you can see all goals here, most of them were scored in the first half, 4 of them in this case. And it was the same case here, you know what I mean, with 2 goals scored in the first half, and we won. Right. And same goes to Marseille. This is Marseille versus Lorient. So we check the matches, and obviously this is the only match. Remember, one match strategy. This was the match that was our reference, and we decided to check what's happening in this match, and we see that 3 goals in this match. It was 3-1. The match ended 3-1, but 3 goals, a lot of goals were scored in the first half. So we said first half as the highest scoring half, but we never chose that. We noticed that more than 1 goal was scored in the first half, so we went with that. With that. And what else did we, you can see here in terms of yellow cards in this particular match in the first half. Just to look at the first half, you can see that there will be under 1.5 yellow card. There will be only 1 yellow card or less, you understand, in the first half, because this is what is happening. Let's just check that if it really actually occurred, but we never chose that. But I'm just saying it's one of the stats that was there. Let's see. We were going to lose. See, so it balances now. Some of the stats that were there, some of them didn't actually happen in this particular match, you know what I mean. And in terms of overs, in terms of goals as well. So in terms of overs, you can see that this particular match, there was over, in terms of goals, obviously overall goals. Doesn't matter who scored the goals, but there was over 3.5 here. So that was a statistic again in this particular match. That's what we could have chosen. I'm sure the odds were super there. I didn't really have a look at that yesterday, but over 3.5 was something here, because you can see here there were 4 goals. So it actually happened because it was 4 goals. So it was going to go through as well. So this is just a review to show that some of the things that we've mentioned actually happened, even though we only chose one, which is the goals in the first half. But I mean, some of the things, some of the statistics that we noticed in this particular match actually happened. You can see now we're noticing that in terms of goals, overall goals, it's over 3.5. I mean, those are decent odds, because the odds of 2 and above. So that happened, you know what I mean. And yeah, there were quite a lot. So I mean, we don't want to stress much time on that, but you know what I mean. Now let's come to Sevilla versus Elche. What we said here, let's check the statistics first. Let's check that one match, because since it's a one match strategy, look at this match. This is the match that we used to analyze and come up with our own bet, or rather market. So what we noticed here, it was both teams to score, I mean, obviously. And what other thing that we noticed is that Sevilla scored first in this match. That's a statistic as well. And we noticed that both teams scored. Yes, both teams scored. And in terms of goals, this was under 2.5, which was a loss, because this match, the next match ended 2-2. So that one didn't happen. If we happened to choose that under 2.5, it was not going to happen. We were going to lose. But did Sevilla scored first? I'm not sure. I'll check that. But did both teams scored? Yes, both teams scored. That was also a successful statistic that we picked up on this match. And one more thing that was interesting, though, to me was this: 1 card, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. This is what I picked up on this match. There were 6 cards in this match. A lot of them were for Sevilla, but okay, that's a statistics as well, that Sevilla will pick up a lot of yellow cards compared to Elche. But most importantly, 6 yellow cards. That also I was more interested in that. And guess what? In this match, what we chose, we said, yes, 6 is, it's quite a lot of cards. So that means those yellow cards were over 5.5 because there were 6. So, those were big odds, by the way. I think that was 4 rand or 5 rand or something like that to say that. That was a lot of money. So imagine now. But how many yellow cards were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And also on the bench, 8. I don't know. I'm not sure if that counts, but 7. So even if we went with over 5.5, we were just going to land on money because it happened. It's one of the things that happened. But let's see who accumulated a lot of yellow cards, because the previous match, that one match strategy, it said Sevilla picked up a lot of yellow cards. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4 for Sevilla and 1, 2, 3. So that was going to be a win as well. And I did, I did check the odds. I think it was more than 3, the odds for that, for saying Sevilla will pick up a lot of yellow cards. Whew. So, guys, this one match strategy works. I can tell you now that it works, but you need to come up now. You need to decide better, because not all the strategies, or rather the markets that happened in one match that you are using to analyze, not all the stats that you're creating there will be through, will come out, will be the result on the match that you're betting on. You understand what I mean? Because look, the yellow cards here, we've noticed that, yes, it came through, even though, we did chose that. But in terms of more yellow cards accumulated by Sevilla, it's true as well. Sevilla accumulated a lot of yellow cards. That is statistics that we picked up, and it happened. In terms of both teams to score, it happened. You know what I mean? Those are the two things that we've mentioned. The third one is over 2.5. Under 2.5, and it didn't happen. Can you see now? Just because maybe when we're analyzing, you choose under 2.5, and then be like, this thing doesn't work. It's our wrong choice. So you have to list. You have to come up here and do your one match strategy. Do all your analysis, write all these markets that have decent odds that you want to pick, that you are finding out from this. Write all your statistics. If it's whether it's first half 0-0 or first half this team will always win, whatever, goals, put all those markets. There are probably 4 of them. Don't go above 4, or you can go above 4, and then now narrow it down and choose the best, because we did narrow it down. I did think about this under 2.5. I thought, maybe they will be really under 2.5. But now I was like, no. I'm more interested in the cards here. You know what I mean? You hardly see a match whereby there's quite a lot of yellow cards. It means these two teams, when they play, or rather when they last played, it was rough. I don't know. You know what I mean? And I decided to use that, narrow it down, then came to this over 5.5 cards. But I decided to play it safe and play over 3.5. Because the odds were still decent, because that was 1.7. You know what I mean? I was afraid to go for over 4 and over 5 because the odds were so big. You know what I mean? I got afraid. I'm like, So this is it, guys. I'm gonna continue today. I must post a ticket maybe before 1. I must continue with this. Let's try this out. We don't have to go big. Let's just keep on trying this out until we become satisfied that this thing now works. You know what I mean? It's a teamwork. I will always post the ticket. I will want to post it a little bit early now before the match starts, so that you can all engage and, you know what I mean, make any changes. As you can see that, look, if you can make your own changes, because someone who chose both team to score, or rather under 2.5 here, would have lost. So this is where now you are allowed to make your own changes, but using our own strategy. So yeah, that was the review of this ticket. I'm not sure if it's good enough, but for those who are new, obviously, to the channel, you know what to do. You just have to subscribe to this channel, because there's quite a lot of insight that I will be sharing here. So subscribe to the channel so that you can be able to see all the tickets that I'm posting, all the videos that I'm posting instantly, so that you don't lose. You must catch up.